Hey everybody, today I wanted to talk about purchasing passive income websites. It's something that I've been working on pretty steadily in the last year, and I have some experience from the trenches to report from. I'm engaging on Flippa and Empire Flippers and checking out a bunch of the other website broker sites. Today I just wanted to talk about some things that you should look at when you're evaluating websites. Now, when you want to purchase them for passive income. Buying a website for passive income can be really awesome, right? Somebody else does all the work, and then if you have the money laying around, I mean, who's got the money laying around? But let's say you do have some money laying around and you want to invest that and take over somebody else's work. So somebody else does the work, the man and woman hours to put the site together and to establish the traffic and do all the things necessary, and they want to sell it to make money, and you want to make money going forward, and you're willing to invest in that, which I think is a great deal. But we have to be careful when we go out there and purchase these websites, because you are buying a business, and it's not cheap. It's not like you're going to go out there and spend $1,000 or $2,000 to get a website that earns a ton of money. And so when you go to places like Empire Flippers or Quiet Light or FE International or whatever, if you want something that earns $500 a month, you're probably going to pay somewhere between 25 and 40 times that to get the website. And so if you just trust that these websites have, these brokers have evaluated these websites, and that the sale means that you're guaranteed to make money, you put yourself at risk to purchasing something you're not really wanting. I mean, if what you're looking for is something that is extremely passive, where you don't have to do anything at all, you just get the site and then sit on it, there's some things that you really have to look out for in when you are making a purchase and when you are doing your due diligence. First thing you should look at in any site that you want to purchase for passive income is the traffic. Is the traffic stable? Now, if this site is only a year old, I wouldn't be surprised to see a curve that's going like this, okay? And which is great, right? The website is earning more traffic, more people are coming to it, and the hope is that the traffic will continue to go up, right? So if you're someone who is looking at a website to buy it and you see a traffic profile going up, you're like, this could be really awesome. But for the purpose of establishing the website value, I would say that a traffic profile that is going up is not necessarily one that increases the value of the website extraordinarily. And here's why. We don't know where that traffic is going to stabilize. So we don't know if that traffic is going to go up and then if it's going to come down, or if that traffic is going up like this because someone is doing something artificial to make that happen, or if someone is doing something totally legit, right, but they won't continue to do that when the website has been sold. So, for example, if a website is being completely driven by Pinterest traffic, it'll be on the website owner to make sure that those efforts continue. What you really want to look for is a traffic profile as far as the number of visitors that come to your website that looks like this. All right, it might go up and down like this, but generally it needs to look like this. It needs to look solid. And you also want to look at whether there are any efforts being put into the website on a regular basis to make the website go like that. And this includes creation of new content. So if you want a really hands-off passive income website, you need to look for a site that hasn't been updated in a while. Okay, if you look at the most recent sitemap, or you look at the posts, if you get access to when the posts are posted, and you see that there's a continuous content schedule, that could be fine, right? You could want to continue to do that. Maybe you'll create that content yourself, or you'll hire someone to do it. But if what you want is a very hands-off site, like I don't want to do anything, then if the traffic profile goes like this, but there is continual content being added, then you know that the traffic, if you stop doing anything, like you don't do anything, you don't continue that content, then that might go like that. It might go like this. It might stay stable, but it might also go like that. So to get a really accurate picture of what the traffic looks like, you'll want to look for websites that haven't been updated in a while, maybe 6 to 12 months. I mean, ideally, if someone has done nothing to a website for 12 months and the website traffic looks like this, total flat line, not going like this and not going like this, to me, that's a sign that that website is stable, that the content in it is stable. It's not associated with current events or something that may cause the traffic to fluctuate. Just really, really stable. That also means that, websites that are not necessarily brand new, but are only a year or two old, you may not ever get to a point where the traffic goes like this, because the content that you put on a website, it's going to take some time to shake out. It's going to take some time to get to a place where Google knows where to rank it and where the traffic for it is stable. So if it's a website that is between 18 months and 2 years old, you still may not know where the traffic is going to stabilize, where it's going to level out, because the content may still be just new enough to where Google is still trying to figure out where to put it and where to rank it, and maybe things are going up and down. Does this mean that you shouldn't buy a site that is a year old or is only 2 years old or has traffic that goes like this or even like this? And the answer is no. You can still purchase sites like that for passive income projects. You just have to calculate or just decide how that impacts what you're willing to pay for it. I think those sites can be great investments, but they are not the sites that I would want to spend the most on. I would say that traffic profiles that go like this, or even have big humps like this, or traffic profiles that are going down, that are on the downward trend, I would say that you just know that that's going to take more investment in time and possibly money to stabilize the profile or to cause it to go up again. So if the profile is going down like this but has lots of good content, I think that's a good investment if you are prepared to invest time and money into it to stabilize it or to cause it to go up like this. Can you buy a website that has a traffic profile like this? Of course, but I just wouldn't spend as much money on a website like that as I would on a website that was totally flatlined. Next, I would look at the stability of the income. Now, if the income is decreasing, that's a bad sign. If the income is going up and the traffic profile is stable, I would want to know what they're doing and how and why, because I want to explain why that income looks like that. Is it that the same traffic is just converting better? Is it that I mean, just think about it. Like, how could you possibly make more money from a site if the traffic is the same? I mean, it must be converting better over time, and maybe that has to do with updates to the site. But again, you want to look at when those updates were made. So if they're continually growing and changing and doing things to the landing page and to their email marketing and all the rest, and you're not really sure what it is that is causing the ups and downs, then that is a sign that the site is not for you. Now, if you can figure out and explain and understand what is being done to the site to make it go like this, or how to put the numbers together, then maybe it works out for you. But if you can't figure out or connect the dots for what is making the site do what it is, then it's not a good site to dump $50, $60, $100,000 or more, because you don't know necessarily that you can continue to have the site do what it is that you see it doing. Next, I would look at diversification. So a website that only has one traffic source and only has one monetization method is very vulnerable. If organic Google traffic is the only traffic source, then potentially you are vulnerable to algorithm changes from the Google. Something about your site could just not be something Google likes in the next update, and all of your money, all of your traffic might just go to zero just like that. The same is true for a monetization method. If you have one affiliate program that earns for this particular site, or Google AdSense is the only way to make money, or the only thing you know how to do, and something changes with it, then something you invested a lot of money in could be worth nothing, basically overnight. And this happens a lot, which is why these websites, when you are looking at investing in passive income sites, why it's still risky to do this. Because there's a lot of things that you can't control with an online business. That's different than, you selling your own info product and having your own audience. A passive income site is hands off. It is, I don't want to know these people. I don't want to talk to these people. I don't want to do anything with these people. I just want them to come through the site, and I don't have to do anything to get them there. And then I'll earn money. I mean, that's the idea. But if you have only one traffic and only one monetization method, or you don't know how to add in other streams, then the site is vulnerable, and you should think about whether or not that is what you want to dump all your money into. Next, I would look at the backlink profile, not only what the backlinks are, but and when they were added and how much. You can see people who do a lot of link building that's very spammy, or that the most of the backlinks are from spam sites. That makes your site vulnerable. It makes it vulnerable to Google algorithm changes, and it also it can drag down the ranking of your site if you continue to build spammy links. You can use the free version of Moz, M-O-Z, or do the pro version of it to take a look at what the backlink profile looks like. You can also, during the due diligence period, if you are looking more deeply into the site, get access to their Google Search Console, or Bing Webmaster Tools, or whatever they're using to manage their sites, and take a look at what sites link to it. Just get an idea of what the domain authority is of the sites, and the page authority, and who is sending links or connecting to the site. Now, if you see a site that's ranking fairly well for a lot of keywords, but the backlink profile is really bad, that doesn't mean necessarily that you shouldn't buy it. It just means that maybe you don't spend as much money on it. And again, everything that I'm talking about here, the stability of traffic, the traffic sources, the diversified monetization, these are all opportunities. So if you decide, this website needs work, it would be more stable if this, these are reasons maybe I don't want to buy it. You can also look at those as opportunities. You say, okay, the website I think is only worth this much, but if I buy it and I stabilize the traffic and I diversify the income sources and I stabilize the income, then you can say, oh, well, if I can do those things, then maybe I can double the value of this site and sell it to someone else for what it is then worth. I also looked at my notes, and I see that I skipped the diversifying the traffic sources. Again, it's just like the income. You want to make sure that if you can influence where the traffic is coming from and diversify that. So, if it's just Google traffic, that you can add Pinterest traffic to that, or traffic from YouTube or just from other places, so that you're not so vulnerable to one of your traffic sources just getting hammered by something that you don't have any control over. Back to the backlinks, look at the quality of backlinks, but also look at it bouncing up and down, and and by a lot. Like maybe the website owner was doing some black hat link building, and had thousands and thousands of links that were lost, or you just want to see over time it going up. I don't want to see stuff going like this, and it's really normal for backlinks to be gained and lost. Just because a site is losing backlinks, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the site necessarily. You just want to see more backlinks being added over time than are being lost. If there was something massive that happened, like they had thousands of links that just went away, maybe that's something to ask the website owner about during your due diligence period, to see if you can find out more about what happened, to learn more about the site and make a decision about how much money you would actually want to pay for it. Next, in looking at the content, so okay, we've looked at the traffic and we've looked at the income. Now let's look at the website itself. When you look at it, does it look spammy? Would you be proud to own this website? If the answer is no, I think that I would want to spend less on it but you also look at it as an opportunity to say, I can improve this website by making it look less spammy. All right, that's a way to make this site more valuable, to make it a better investment. Look at the content. Is the content what I call evergreen? You know the word evergreen, meaning do I have to update this content continually to maintain the traffic? Do I have to continue to add posts? You know, and the types of posts that you will have to continually add are at sites that are focused on reviews, right? The latest gadgets, the latest things, like that type of website, you're going to have to continue to add content because people are going to stop searching for, you know, the current iPhone 9 or, you know, the coolest vacuum. You know, the search volume on those things is going to drop down and you're going to lose traffic if you don't continually add content to the site that is updated. Now, evergreen content is the type of content that people will always be searching for, regardless of the excitement or the trends about a particular thing. So you can review particular products, or you can look for sites that have very helpful articles that people could always use. So how to use a cell phone, or how to make a phone call versus how to use the iPhone 10.0 to take a selfie, you know, or how to make an awesome selfie, how to make the best selfie ever versus how to utilize the iPhone 9 to take a selfie. An article of just in general about creating selfies, that's going to be evergreen. It's not going to be dependent upon which device you're using or what platform you're using. It's just something that people will continually search for to get that information. That will apply no matter what device you're using, versus incorporating keywords that are trending products, not evergreen, and will need to be updated. Next, about the content, do you understand the content? Could you write articles on the content, or could you effectively hire someone else and manage someone else to create content for the site? Just as an anecdotal example, when I was recently evaluating some websites to purchase through Empire Flippers, I requested access to a package of sites that were about technology. And it was a group of like 8 sites, you know, that were there to just, you know, make a fairly massive amount of monthly income across all the sites, which was awesome. And I was super excited about it. But a couple of the sites, there was no way I was going to be able to create content for it. It was about a really technical topic that I honestly didn't understand. I didn't understand the words. I didn't understand the technology. You know, I'm not. I'd like to think that I'm fairly. And finally, you know, there's a lot more to talk about content, but I'll just highlight that the content type, if you're looking at exploring other monetization options, is pretty key, especially if you're looking at doing, you know, Google AdSense or hosting ads on your website. If your content is, well, will violate the terms of any of these programs, you're not going to be able to get approved. For example, if the site contains, you know, stuff about sex or about guns or violence or whatever else, you're not going to get approved into the programs. And even if you do, some advertisers just won't want to run ads on your site. And so you just want to be keep an eye on the terms of service for other monetization methods. If you are thinking, oh, hey, this is an affiliate site and making money mostly with Amazon, and I want to add Google AdSense to it, or I want to add, you know, media.net or InfoLinks or whatever else. Not every advertiser is going to want to advertise on your site, even if you can get the content approved to get into the site. So maybe you have a really strong interest in a concealed carry, okay? That's awesome. But if you're going to buy a site that's about concealed carry and handguns, or trying to sell products associated with handguns, you may not be able to get approved for other monetization methods if you're looking at this site as a straight investment option. Anyway, guys, I have rambled on for almost 20 minutes. If you thought that this video was useful, if you thought this content helped you or anything else, please do me the favor of giving it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment with any questions that you have about buying websites for passive income investments. This is what I'm doing all the time, in addition to everything else that I am working on. But I would love the opportunity to answer your questions about buying income producing websites. And finally, subscribe so that you can get any of the videos that I have that talk about just figuring out how to ditch the 9 to 5 and make money online. Thanks, everybody. See you in the next video.